Hello, everyone. This week we're looking at horse dental care. Specifically, we're looking at floating their teeth. And if you're not familiar with horses, you may have some questions when I say floating teeth. To answer those questions, we went to TD Equine Veterinary Group. McKenna Moore, our social media strategist, her three horses, and myself all went for the appointment with Dr. Martin and Dr. McKinnon. And we had lots of questions for them. But before we get to the answers to those questions, I want you to know that Asphalt, the horse that is with Dr. McKinnon while she's answering the questions, just received a sedative so that we could work on his teeth. And that is why he might look a little drowsy.
So why do we float horses' teeth?
That's a great question. So the diet that horses that we have them on in captivity, so to speak, I guess, is quite a bit different than the food that they get in the wild. So based on the way that they chew, they don't chew their food the same way we do. You know, when we chew, our teeth are kind of going up and down. They chew on sort of a more of a circular type of pattern. So because of that, they develop sharp enamel points in different places in their mouth. So on the upper arcades, and we'll see when we open the horse's mouth up, but on the outside of the upper teeth and on the inside or the same side as the tongue on the lower teeth, they develop sharp enamel points. And so the reason why we float them is to kind of try to smooth those out a little bit and prevent ulceration or discomfort when they're chewing as a secondary sort of thing to those sharp points. So that's why we float them.
And so what is the process involved in floating the horse?
So we start off, the first thing that we do is listen to their heart and make sure that everything sounds okay, because if they have some sort of an arrhythmia or something funny sounding in their heart, that might change the cocktail of sedation that we use to float their teeth. So that would be step one. Then we select a dose of sedation for the horse based on their temperament and things like that. And so then we give them sedation in the vein to make them sleepy for the procedure so they're not so concerned about it. And then we put a speculum in their mouth. We open it just a little bit and flush their mouth out, rinse it out so that we've got a better view of what's going on in the inside of their mouth, and we get all the snacks out of there, the hay and carrots or what have you that they've been chewing on. And then we put a light in there so we can see what's going on. We open up the speculum a little bit. And the speculum is just a tool that we put in their mouths so that we can open up their jaws so that we can see and do work at the back of their mouth. And then we've got what's called a dental float. So basically all that is sort of like a diamond carbide. We've got different discs on the end of the float, and each disc or head to the float does a different job in terms of getting different angles in the teeth. And reaching different surfaces, and so that's the tool that we use. It kind of spins really quickly and works to sort of file down the sharp enamel points, and we use that to smooth their teeth out. And then at the end, we make sure everything feels okay. We give them a rinse, and away you go. That's it.
How often should we be floating horses' teeth?
Well, that's also a great question, and it kind of depends on how old they are. So younger horses, sort of a standard rule could be every 12 months. But if we know that a horse has dental pathology, or we know there's something wrong in their mouth, they've got crazy ramps or hooks or something like this that kind of need to be maintained and kept on top of, the schedule might change a little bit to maybe every 6 or 8 months or something like that, just so we can kind of stay ahead of the game and that things don't escalate in there.
Thank you so much to TD Equine Veterinary Group for having us and for answering our questions. Next week, they'll be talking about how to prepare your horses for winter. For more information about livestock care practices, visit Alberta Farm Animal Care's website and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.